Hello, it's me. Um, Now, this is going to be a review of the British rock band Coldplay's first studio album released in 2000, Parachutes. Now, I was only inspired to do this because I want to do a review of Viva La Vida, the album that I just memorized. I'm a big Coldplay fan, and that's their fourth album, and it's my favorite so far, and I hope to be able to do that one. But I want to go through all four, and hopefully through all seven at some point. So first, I'm gonna go through Parachutes, a song that I memorized about 2 years ago. I mean, an album that I memorized about 2 years ago. Um, Now, getting into Coldplay and starting out with Parachutes was a little weird because I'm 17 years old, so it's weird hearing a band that has this rock style. It's kind of hard to explain, and the the music that's popular in our day and age is a lot different than the music that you hear here. But without further ado, let's get right into it. I'm going to try to go track by track and then give an overall review of the album. Um, the first track on the album, Parachutes, is Don't Panic. Now, Don't Panic was one of the first songs that I'd memorized by Coldplay, that I got to. Now, Don't Panic, it's a lot different than most Coldplay songs, but a lot of people would probably say that they enjoy the song just because of it's the older kind of rock style. It's smooth, it's melodic, and it's just an easy listen all the way through. It doesn't really change course too much. It has a pretty consistent. I don't want to say beat because it's not a rap song. Definitely not. Nor is any song by Coldplay, but just the overall melody of the song. It is beautiful. It's a pretty song, and it's a great way to start the album. Now, after Don't Panic, which is kind of slow and easygoing, you get into the second song of the album, Shiver, which really just increases. I don't even know how to explain it. It sets the tone for the rest of the album in a way that just it gets you ready, gets you a little excited because Shiver, that's a rock song. Don't Panic, it can be alternative, it can be rock, alternative rock, whatever you want to call it. But Shiver, it's a rock song, and it might be one of the more lyrically complex songs on the record. This song grew on me more as I listened because at first I didn't really understand it, and I I wasn't a fan of the. It's not heavy rock, but like just it's a loud song. It is not a party song or anything, but it's pretty loud, and it's weird hearing Shiver. But I grew to like this song a lot. The lyrics are amazing here. I love the storyline of it, and that leads us into our next song, Spies. Spies is really, I might say that it's the most lyrically complex song of this entire record. This is another one that took a while to grow on me just because it's so complex. But those can sometimes be the best songs. I mean, Spies is really just, I honestly can't explain it. But I know that's a terrible explanation. This is my first time doing this. We're gonna see how it goes. Might never do this again, but hopefully I will. Spies is a great song. Can't think of anything off the top of my head. I didn't prepare much for this, just because I thought it'd be fun. Spies, it's great. Um, that leads into Sparks. Now, by the way, I would like to play samples of these songs, but I'm not technologically advanced enough to really do that. I'm recording this on a MacBook with Beats headphones, and I'm just talking into the mic. That was probably pretty loud. But the point is, I'm not too advanced. But this is Sparks, the third straight song on the record. It starts with an S, and yes, I have the track list out because I didn't memorize the order. But Sparks is another great song. It's a lot slower than Shiver, and Spies is kind of just in the middle kind of melody and beat. But Sparks, it's a great song. It's pretty lyrically complex. With Shiver, Spies, and Sparks all in order, they all have messages throughout them, and that's what a lot of people miss in today's era of Coldplay. But that'll lead us into the fifth track, the one and only first hit of Coldplay, and that is Yellow. Yellow is, of course, one of the first songs that I heard by Coldplay. Being born in 2002, this song was released 2 years before I was even born, so obviously I don't have as much to say about it, or like how popular it was, considering that I wasn't alive whenever the song was popular, truly. But it is a great song, and you can still hear it on the radio every once in a while. That's just how great of a song it is. It's been 19 years and still kicking. It may seem simple as it repeats the word yellow plenty of times, just several, but it's honestly a great song. It's a little harder, a little more loud, but the whole melody of the entire song, and it's a great song to listen to. I think in any mood. If you're happy, you can listen to Yellow. If you're sad, you can listen to it. It can be about heartbreak. It can be about falling in love. Anything. But our next track, Trouble, was, whenever I first listened to this record, one of my favorite Coldplay songs. Because it was one of the first really, truly great ones that I heard, in my opinion. This is all my opinion, by the way. But Trouble is, in my opinion, an amazing song. And it's a little slower, but then the guitars come in and the drums, and it's the guitar that really gets you. And Chris Martin's vocals really shine throughout this song. And a little fun story here, whenever I was in driving school, getting my license 2 years ago, or not quite 2 years ago, but the song was on one of the videos telling us not to drunk drive, or drink and drive, sorry. But this was one of the songs on there, and it fit perfectly. It was a sad portion, but this is a perfect song to listen to if you're just taking a long drive at night, need to clear your head, or if you're just cruising. I mean, this is the kind of music that I enjoy listening to on a daily basis, honestly. After Trouble, we go into Parachutes, which is just a very short song. Let me look at the actual runtime of Parachutes. I know it's not a very long song. It is 46 seconds long, and there's just a few lyrics. I'll read them out here. In a haze, a stormy haze, I'll be round. I'll be loving you always, always. Here I am and I'll take my time. Here I am and I'll wait in line always, always. A lot of riders to the song. It's not really a single or anything. It's not meant to be popular. It's just a slow way to ease you in to the last 3 tracks on the album. So after Parachutes, you have the 8th song on their first full length, and this is High Speed. High Speed was one of the songs that I also memorized with Don't Panic, as part of the Blue Room EP, released in, I believe, 1998 or 99, but one of those, I think, maybe, no, I don't think 96, but 98 or 99, I believe, not 100% sure, but High Speed, great song, a little more heavy, a little deeper, and I can't explain enough how the songwriting is just Chris Martin and Guy Berryman, Johnny Buckland, everyone. I don't know why I cannot think, but sorry. But World Champion, that's who I'm thinking about. They're all shining bright throughout this entire album. And I know Chris Martin's the main writer for the band, and everything that he believes in is just really, you can see what he's feeling, and it's the best part about this album. And High Speed is another song that just goes right into that. It's also lyrically complex. And the thing about these songs on this album are mainly that there aren't many lyrics to the songs, and a lot of them have the chorus is running through 2, 3, even 4 times, sometimes more, like in Everything's Not Lost. But the lyrics are so complex that the messages are conveyed left and right. But anyway, after High Speed, we have We Never Change. This may be an unpopular opinion, but We Never Change is my favorite song on this album. It's the 9th track, and I don't know, it just brings out something. It's a sadder song, I'm not gonna lie. But Chris Martin, his vocals, you can feel his heartbreak, and he's just talking about how he wants to live life and be good to the person he loves and never be cruel. He just wants to have friends, have a loved one, and enjoy that life. Have that. It's about that simple life. And he might have meant more by that, but that's my interpretation of the song, and I think it's just beautiful. We never change, do we? We never learn, do we? Change in life, it's hard. It's hard. It's very hard, and you can feel pain through Chris Martin's vocals. After We Never Change is the 10th and final track and the longest track of this record, Everything's Not Lost, which is actually my second favorite song on this record. And the first, I think, I'm guessing 4.5 minutes of the 7-minute and 15-second song. I'm looking at it, I didn't memorize the exact length, I think it was around 7, but 7 minutes, 15 seconds is the runtime of this final track. The first 4.5 minutes, he's talking about a lot of things, but I find it motivational. It's a sadder tune at first, but then the guitar picks up, and the drums pick up, and here's the chorus. Because if you ever feel neglected, if you think that all is lost, I'll be counting up my demons, yeah, hoping everything's not lost. I find it motivational, and just in the sense that everything's going to be all right, going to get it together, which is a lyric from Coldplay's last song on their last album, Head Full of Dreams. But that's for another time. But the last 2.5 minutes is a break after the first song, and then the B track of this full track, Everything's Not Lost, comes in, and I just think it's a great way to end the album. I don't even know what instrument it is. I'm just gonna be 100% honest, but it shines beautifully with Chris Martin's vocals in the last. It's a great way to wind down the album, is what I'm trying to say. Now, I never meant to do you wrong, but that's what I came here to say. But if I was wrong, then I'm sorry, but don't let it stand in our way, 'cause my head just aches when I think of the things I shouldn't have done. But life is for living, we all know, and I don't want to live it alone. I know that all of that didn't rhyme, but it really is a lot more lyrically complex than you would imagine. And you can feel the pain, but you can also feel a sense of hope. And the perfect thing that Coldplay did by ending this record was leaving the listener wanting more, because after this, I'm like, goodness gracious, at least how I felt. I'm wanting to hear that second album. And then whenever that second album came out, from the first track, Coldplay had reinvented itself. And we'll get into that next time. But thank you very much for listening if you did. If you made it all the way through, I really appreciate it. I did not prepare for this at all. We'll see how everything goes. Either way, this was fun. I'm just kind of talking to myself, reading some Coldplay. Couldn't be a better day. But thank you very much. I appreciate it. Anyone who's listening, have a great day. And until next time. But before then, I must give this album a final rating. Totally forgot to do it. For Parachutes, I'm going to go out of 10 here. I'm going to rate Coldplay's first album, Parachutes. Many people think this is in their top 3 albums out of the 7. A lot of people top 2. Some people, it's their favorite album. Mine is Viva La Vida or Death and All His Friends. But I'm going to give this album a solid 8. A solid 8. It leaves you wanting more. And there are dry spots where you may not want to get to the whole record. But overall, it's a great album. A great rock album. Alternative rock album in 2000. And it was before its time. And this is just exactly what got me into Coldplay, this kind of music. And I'm just eternally grateful that I got the chance to listen to it. But thank you all once again for listening, if you did. You have a great day.